Hey guys, how's it going? It's Corey and Preston again today. We're back with another Boom Slate. I hope you guys were able to try the Triple Lightning entry jackpot yesterday. We were pretty on with our projections, I would say, except I don't think anyone could have projected Kemba to go for 5 points. Do you, Preston?
No, no way. I don't see how anybody could project that type of game from anyone.
Yeah, tough day to have our first Triple Lightning on that day. But hopefully it doesn't happen again. And with that, we can jump into the main jackpot slate where we have points between Eric Gordon, Chris Middleton, Marcus Gasol, and Larry Markkinen. Right away for me, I think we can rule out Markkinen. The Bulls are pretty much being forced by the league to play more of their players. In other words, his upside gets lessened a little bit. But the other three are kind of interesting to me. I'm trying to decide right now if I want one entry of all three or not. Gordon had been terrific in the same situation he's in tonight without Joe Johnson and Ryan Anderson playing. He had again gotten 22 and 29 points his last two games before putting up a dud last night. And you got Chris Middleton, who's pretty consistent. You got to watch for blowout there possibly. He might not have the same upside. And Marcus Gasol is going to go against the Chicago team that is bottom 5 in the league against the center. So we got a pretty tough one here. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, this one's tough. I think I'm liking Marc Gasol here that he gets like you said, the good matchup versus Chicago, and it should be a pace up game for the Grizzlies. The over under shouldn't be too high, but with Chicago playing at one of the fastest paces in the league since the All-Star break, I like the spot he's in. Eric Gordon is like you said, he had a few good games with the injuries on their team, but last night wasn't great. And then Middleton, he's gonna get you 16 to 18 points a game, and I don't think he has a whole lot of upside. So I'm liking Marc Gasol here.
Yeah, I think I do too. I'm either going to probably get 3 entries of Gasol and one of each of the other, or go all in on Gasol and just kind of try to get that single bullet. And with that, we'll have rebounds with Clint Capella, Giannis Valanciunas, and JaMychal Green. This one's kind of interesting. Last night, I thought Capella was one of the top plays on the slate, and he completely busted for me, and Preston actually, which kind of sucked. But before that game, he had 14 and 17 rebounds, and since he's the first guy listed in the category, we know that Boom is thinking that he's the top overall play. But we have guys who are in a good matchup. We always say that when Big Val sees a big center like he will in Drummond, he'll see that closer to that 26-minute range. And then Giannis is just always got to be in consideration to get around 10 rebounds. And then we have our least likely, JaMychal Green, who probably a lot of people haven't noticed, but he has recorded double-digit rebounds in 6 straight games. And tonight, Jarrell Martin might get ruled out, and if he does, it's even more minutes for JaMychal Green against that terrible rebounding team in Chicago. So I really do think he has a chance. I kind of want to take him. I think I'll at least have one entry, but I think Capella is the safe favorite here because Milwaukee's also one of the worst rebounding teams. What do you think?
Yeah, this one's tough. All these guys are capable of putting up double-digit rebounds tonight. They're all in fairly good spots. You got Capella, probably the best rebounding option on the slate just in general here, and then on Antetokounmpo, he's going to get plenty of minutes, and he'll get right around his 10 rebounds a game. And then Val, I like him going up against Drummond. He averages 16 and 9 against Drummond in his career, and he should get 25, 26 minutes tonight. And then JaMychal Green, you gave out the stat about his rebounds in the last few games, and he gets a great matchup versus those Chicago bigs. This one's really tough for me here. I do think Capella is probably the safest, but I like Val or Green here for a little bit contrarian options. I'd probably have to multi-enter here if I'm running out 5 lines.
I gotta agree. There's so many options, and usually the person who's listed under letter D is someone we can eliminate, and he might be a top option, which makes it really interesting for multi-entry purposes. So, I mean, you can get any of these guys, and for that reason, I think I'm going to multi-enter in this contest tonight. Assists seem a little more safer to Preston and I. Kyle Lowry only got 4 against Detroit. We're looking at a slower paced game. Toronto's on a back-to-back. Even though Ish Smith somehow, some way was a top assist guy on Monday, which was pretty funny for Justin. I just don't see it. That was such a weird slate. So that kind of leaves us with Chris Paul. Chris Dunn doesn't like to pass the ball. I don't know why, but he just doesn't. And Chris Paul could win this with 7, and I think 7's a good number. I think 7's probably what he'll get, and I kind of just like Paul here. What about you?
Yeah, this is really just a process of elimination type play for me here. I think Chris Paul finally broke out of his slump last night. Played a really good game and had the ball in his hands a good amount. I think the other guys were looking at 5 or 6 assists, and I think Paul has a good floor of 5 or 6, and I would project him for 7 or 8 also, with the upside of getting 10 or so. So yeah, he's definitely my favorite here.
Yeah, so it sounds like both Preston and me are all in on Chris Paul there. And DeRozan's kind of interesting. Our projections have him pretty low. I kind of like the scoring upside tonight myself. So I'm a little torn on what to do. Our projections have him closer to 21. I kind of like the 23 to 27 range, though. Even though I don't expect a high-scoring game here. DeRozan just, ever since Detroit traded Avery Bradley, they have not been that great against a shooting guard. And DeRozan's just a flat-out great scorer, and it's hard to project him low. So, I mean, personally, I like 23 to 27. What about you?
Yeah, I'm looking about 21 to 25 or so. I like that low to mid 20s range. The Toronto Detroit game shouldn't be too fast. Over under's 213, so nothing huge. But like you said, Detroit hasn't been as great versus the shooting guards. Their wing players aren't great defensive players, and I think Toronto continues to roll here. They should get the win here, and I think DeRozan's going to be a big part of that. I like that. I like around that mid 20 range, 21 to 25 or 23 to 27. Right in that range sounds good to me too.
Yeah, this one will be tougher. But while we're on the points
Yeah.
category, we'll stick to the points and take another shot at the Triple Lightning tonight. And Giannis is going to be our first guy there. Do you have like a projection you like for Giannis today? This one's kind of difficult.
Yeah, this one's tough. It's always tough picking point totals for the guys that get tons of minutes, because their range of outcomes is a lot larger than the average player. We have him at about 26. I think Houston could be it's going to be an up tempo game for Milwaukee. I'm looking at about 27 or so. 26, 27 sounds good for me. What are you thinking?
With the plus minus here, and maybe a potential for a blowout, because Houston's just been beating everybody badly.
Yeah.
I like setting him at 25, so hopefully
Yeah.
that 24 to 26 range will be good for him. And next we have one of our favorite people to guess, James Harden, which is, almost Anthony Davis level, which we'll get into later, unfortunately.
Yes.
Right when I look at the app, it has Harden set at 31. I might not touch that. 30, 32 seems decently safe. If the game stays close, it could eclipse that. But regardless, he's going to get scoring. He's going to jump out, score probably 17 real points in the first quarter, and level out a little bit. I might just leave it at this. What do you think?
Yeah, his last 4 games he hasn't scored the ball as much. He's had 11 and 10 assists in his last 2 games, while only scoring 23 to 26. 31 is a little high for me. I think I may go a little bit lower, but Harden is always capable of putting up 15, 20 in a quarter and just going off for 30 plus a game. I'd be looking at 29, 28 or so. So I think right around 30 looks good for him tonight.
Yeah, and then we already touched on DeRozan. So we can just jump into the late slate, which is going to be much easier for us. And this is where I would probably recommend where multi-entering can be great, because taking a single bullet at 80's points is just not recommended unless you're Justin Gore. So here for points, I don't really think there's much of a discussion since Paul Millsap came back. I gotta love Drew Holiday here. He's been incredible. What about you?
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm the same way. Holiday's been playing incredibly well in every game recently. And like you said, Jokic's points are down. I don't think he's scored double-digit points in the last 3 or 4 games. It's his upside's just really capped with Millsap back on the floor, and then Randolph. He he'll put up 15 a game, but I don't see him scoring over 20 tonight, and I just really like Drew Holiday. Isaiah Thomas comes off the bench. His scoring average isn't as high this season. He gets a great matchup, but yeah, overall, if I'm taking one guy, I'm going with Drew here.
Yeah, Sacramento's been one of the worst in the league against a shooting guard too, which is important to note. And the Pelicans are playing at the fastest pace in the league since Cousins went down. So there's just a lot of upside, and I don't want to pass on the upside. Yeah, speaking on upside, Anthony Davis rebounds. Any
Yep.
reason not to take him?
No. Jokic is back with the rebounds category. Don't love him. Vucevic, he gets a good matchup with the Lakers. They've been pretty bad to front courts, but I'm thinking he'll get around 9 or 10 tonight. And Anthony Davis, his upside's just massive. He could have 20 rebounds tonight versus Sacramento. Kings are horrible versus centers also, and yeah, I think he's an easy pick here for me.
Yeah, I don't like fading Anthony Davis because that means I have to root against him, and
Yeah.
that's not really an a fun thing to do, or an interesting thing to do for that. So I'm just gonna pick Anthony Davis and move on, which brings us to our assist category, and we got 3 point guards in LeBron James, but LeBron James basically is the point guard for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he faces the same Denver team that he faced 2 games ago, and he got 15 assists. And when I see that, I always say his upside is 15. He got 15. Rondo, those minutes always scare me. Lonzo Ball, sure he's got like 10, 11 assists upside, but I don't see the 15 assists upside. De'Aaron Fox definitely won't get there. So I'm all in LeBron here too. What about you?
Yeah, I'm the same way. We can rule out Fox immediately, and like you said, Ball, his he can get a triple double, but his triple doubles usually with rebounds and assists aren't too much over 10, 11. Um, I like Rondo with how he's been playing 32 to 36 minutes a game, but like you said, LeBron's just in such a great spot tonight versus Denver. That game's going to be crazy fast. The over/under's 230 in that game, which is
Yeah.
just insane. Ball will be in his hands plenty. I think he is the option for me here as well.
And then I did a little foreshadowing to this earlier, but we have to project Anthony Davis in points, which it really makes me lose sleep overnight. Not really, but it kind of does. Um, Man, dude, 32 to 36, maybe? I don't know. What do you think?
This is it's just so frustrating because you can throw out an average, but I feel like even if I'm confident in our average, he'll go out and score 40 plus. He I think 39 or something like that last night. He's just having a massive year without Cousins. Um, it's tough. I was joking earlier. I was saying might as well just project him for 40 to 44. Because that's as crazy it is as crazy as it is, almost seems safe to get for him to just get 40. However, with the Pelicans have been playing pretty well, and the Kings are just having a full tank season. So this game could get out of hand. He might play a few less minutes than his. Um, I think that 30 to 34 range, 32 to 36 is looking pretty good. It's just so tough to predict because if the Kings keep this, he could put up 45 to 50. But if it's a blowout, he may put up. Yeah, it's tough though.
Yeah. I know we always struggle with this. It's really tough. Anytime we see Anthony Davis on this slate, we do want to multi-enter because it's just too tough that way. But that'll be it for the Boom slate today. The DFIU War Room will be starting a little later today at 6 since the slate locks at 8 instead of the usual time at 7. So head over there for your other DFS needs. And good luck on the slate. We'll be back with you tomorrow and look forward to it. Good luck, guys.
See you guys.